where do you see softball taken from here? Where are we going with softball in the future?
This is purely a subjective statement. It could be wrong. It's got to be the fastest growing sport, female sport, and fastest growing sport in the world right now.
Yeah.
Now it's just an incredible time to be part of fast pitch. From where it was, and all of the pioneers and people that put in their love and passion for the sport back to whatever age or date it was. My 30 years of watching the game kind of grow, watching the game develop, watching the swings develop, watching the game become eye candy to not just sports specific audience, meaning, you have a relative or someone that's a specific interest while you're watching it, but now it's on in restaurants, the College World Series delivering every single year. I don't think you and I could script it better. Every year there's a story. It's Odyssey, it's this, whatever it is. Every year there's a story there. Oklahoma's rise to fame, what they're doing from where Patty started. Man, this is an absolute awesome time to be part of softball. And now I look at it as out here, I say Wild Wild West. Maybe it's Civil War days or revolutionary, like what it was versus what it could be, and kind of what's on the frontier. I believe that we need infrastructure. I believe that because it is, the term business isn't a bad term, but it's business. There's finances, there's expenditures, there's all types of things, the importance of offsetting costs, my own need to continue to have a business education and learn. Infrastructure is number one, so that when we look at an existing business template and then we put softball over it, it doesn't look like, whoa, this guy keeps his own books on a legal pad, and it has to be run the way businesses are if we're going to deliver. The amount of financial stress, the obsession of love, the recruiting stress, coaches, when you build your relationships with your families, they won't question anything that you do. But if you're that person that is run by emotions and it's only winning or it's only recruiting or whatever, and your behavior is not consistent and you don't build those relationships with your family, they're going to question everything you do. So in principle, you could buy a Pepsi at the gas station with the team's money, and in principle, you misspent their money. So I'm excited about working with people to create infrastructure. And I think the last thing would be to allow our customer base, the teams that participate in events, the coaches of smaller organizations, coaches of smaller teams in kind of obscure areas, to allow them to feel appreciated, to allow them to feel cared for. I believe that the top of the food chain for the long time kind of always separated itself almost as elitist and didn't acknowledge the lower end of the food chain until you either beat them or your players were good enough to play on their teams. And so I really like to participate in helping people up the mountain. Again, a certain type of success, whatever that might be, is attainable for every single softball coach. And, to not sit there and pitch the alliance, but one of the big concepts for the alliance, which I think is the opposite of the perception. The perception of the alliance, I figure there's going to be 2 to 3 to 4 years of kind of, I won't call it propaganda, but kind of like normal competitive kind of attacks and things like that. And so we just kind of let the real story unfold. The truth is that we're trying to help people up the mountain that can't get up on their own. And there's kind of an inequality to the experience and the comfort level that a lot of coaches have. And this is going to sound real funny, but I would love for a coach in Missouri or North Dakota to not feel like his team has to join the Firecrackers or a big organization for his kids to be seen. With the alliance, and as it continues to build with the statistical component, we would love for the number 4 home run hitter in the country to be noticed in the statistical component, and they're on some little small team. Coach Sean always calls them the Lady Llamas or whoever they might be, and they're sitting right next to the Corona Angels or right there. So basically, it's like, you guys are right. We didn't have to spend all this money to fly there or to join your team, or you actually shine the light on us, and you allowed me to be successful in my own little way. Firecrackers started with one team, founded by a gentleman named Gary Wardine. I'm not the founder. So that story, you have some success, you want to pass that on. And I think that's really important too. So a little bit of a long-winded answer to the sport, but my goodness, there's no better time right now.